you? I'm Temper-Mental MissElayneous, Elaine Damchick Harrington. My husband is here with me, Tomasz Damchick, so that's where I got that part of my name, and it's a blessing and a privilege to be his wife, and I'm always delighted when he's here with me, so thank you for being with me. DJ Funk Tom. Lovely. So I just, on that note of, you know, launching stuff, and I'm releasing the book called MISCELLANEA, volumes 1 to 4, and it's my debut. I'm around about 15 years doing the spoken word and poetry and so on, and I'm only putting out my debut, but I've had other things like albums, isn't that right, my love? And he's, you know, held me hand through the whole thing, so it's amazing, and I'm delighted to be celebrating this launch of these books and putting it out through Blue Lotus. I am honoured and privileged that you would have me featuring here for AGGRO, and I love what you're doing, and I'm your biggest fan, obviously, Karl Parkinson, so thanks a lot, Dave and Karl, for the nice thank you. Just to say, on the 28th, a little plug, on the 28th for National Poetry Day in Ireland, the theme is home, as per Poetry Ireland, and we're having an event in Flux, Dublin too, and it's called Home, Class, Belonging and the Politics of Place, and it's a live Poetry Day Ireland event presented in association with themselves at Flux, as I said, and it's in the workshop classroom space, and you can get tickets there on Eventbrite. It's free. Please do come, and we do hope to see you. Karl Parkinson, Paulina Cosgrave, Dave Lordan, the Vagabond Queen, and Joseph Cunningham will be there, and we're trying to get a panel going
Saw them all
on.
tonight. You see them again.
And they're all here tonight, amazing. And we're trying to get a panel discussion, and I'd love someone from UCD, NCAD, Trinity, and Dún Laoghaire. I'd really love that, but it hasn't come together yet, but we'll see. I want that discussion of academia and home and feeling that you belong in academia. Me being a teacher, I'm a second level teacher, and it is rough in the jungle. I'm not playing with you, and I'm tough, and it is rough. So everything you say, and that's why I'm very emotional, because, you know, I'm almost hallucinating at this point in the academic term. I'm so, you know, it's a visceral, very, very kind of faithful, dedicated type of job, and it is an honour, and I thank God for it. So without further ado, can I start with one of your ones, Karl? I'm going to read, if you don't mind.
Do you want any more than mine?
Probably come on. I saw my dad one day out walking alone, by Karl Parkinson. I saw the man walk by on the other side of the road. He had your walk, your brown leather jacket, your height, your hair. I followed him, thinking he might be a ghost, or somehow he'd come back from the dead, like they told us Jesus had in Mass. After a corner or two, he turned his head. The face wasn't yours. No wound for me to push my finger in, to ease my doubts. I ran away feeling stupid and scared. Afterwards I thought, sure, wasn't it a visit from your spirits? Because a spirit can change its face. It's not made of flesh and bone. I saw my dad one day out walking.
Beautiful.
Poetry from the page. This is very, I feel like I'm indulging whenever I do this. I feel like it's wrong. I feel like I should be doing what Casey is doing. But I earned me stripes doing me freestyles and me off the book stuff with the rap and whatnot. So thank you very much, folks, for allowing me the privilege of reading from the page. So here we go. Did I tell you? This one's from my granddad. I wrote it, started writing it on 6th of April 2018. And I finished writing it on the 25th of April 2026. So you can see why my first volume is coming out now, after been around since 2011. And I wrote my first poem in 96, so there you go. Anyway, for telling me of my own pain, how'd you know how to respond? I must thank him for that, my grandfather, that's not God. For being my friend, both of us loath to abscond. Stole me again, would you? Man of God. For lending your ear, not a crease in your brow, bend or box my ear, will you, God righteous Father? For preaching, for that prayer, no praise, albeit loving, in showing me how to accept how I am as I am now. Did I thank you, God-fearing man, for the work and the union, oh what drive the sunlight spurred, for the word shared and held loosely in the hand, a food offering, didn't I thank you? Grandfather of prayer and petition, your smile for mine, a voice in my own throat enshrined, your signal, roll, compatible, pep of step and residue of tide turned. Did I forget, grandfather, lover of God, how could I not? A mind and character carved, cutting and kind, your senses are your own, but aren't they mine? A lot of you and tears for each step. Did I slow you down, father of doxology, forgiving and for forgiving, and for living to love, to spurn, then re-love all anew? Could I have forgotten, man of God, man the God did choose, for a rupturing heart reborn to communion and calling? Did I thank you for the grace of that hand in its saving reveal? Show to me Christ, Holy Spirit indwell. Didn't I thank you for the smile would chase foregone ache, protector? Oh, guard my heart, break that bread and wave its sharing. Call upon your servant to offer salt and sigh his pitch in prayer. I have borrowed to buy. He has thought twice too long ago to let on shine us abide time. The stealthy things and the lofty ardent day grand. Did I tell you thank you, grandfather man? Did I tell you thank you, Pauline Lamb?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did call him Granda. You're not from the same class as me. I did call me Granda, but I call him grandfather, and this, I suppose, for a little bit of not formality, but reverence. I think reverence, not false reverence either. This is called The If. 2020, written in 2017, finished in 2022. The If. I'm the sand in the gourmet. I am the heel of the loaf. I'm the thread in the duvet. I'm the slip of the soap. I'm the string fraying upwards. I'm the dust before settling. I'm the page you skipped over. I'm the word you keep forgetting. I'm the lick of the thumb. I'm the hem of the garment. I'm the clothes peg snapping. I'm the impending argument. I'm the hinge without give. I'm the warping of skirting. I'm the overflowing brim. I'm the smarting in yearning. I'm the if in indifference. I'm the too much too soon. I'm the too less too late. I'm the cap of the fool. I'm the child you berate. I'm the sediment shifting. I'm the worth of the weight. I'm the woman who's whistling. I'm the deafening static. I'm the blinding glare. I'm the uphill battle, the space into which you stare. I'm nothing but trouble. I'm the road less chosen. I'm the very last hurdle. I'm the door you won't open.
Yeah! Awesome.
Thank you. I'll do a quick one for my late uncle. Kafka. Written 2017, finished September 2022. My uncle is my summer guest. He visits me when I am at rest. I never wish or shoo him hence. Nostalgia for mud, present tense. No ladybirds or woodlice tread. No piercing spine or visage dread. Kafka, never to depart. Two crowns and the yoke of a broken heart. I do another few?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Now, can I do one that's a bit humorous and indulgent, and it's pure, it's a draft, and I started it in 18th of November, and I've been writing it ever since here, because I'm a teacher, you see, and I shared a little draft of this with I'm a Quavenor, I'm their tutor, I'm their pastor, you know what I'm saying, so I shared this with my second years this year, and a few of them were a bit like, you know, defensive, you know, taking it personal. You know what I'm saying? I don't usually do diss rhymes, you feel me? I don't get an aggro. Don't usually do diss rhymes. I don't usually do that type of thing, but I was trying to teach them that you know, I'm human too, and this is a way for me to critically, thoughtfully reflect on this with humour and joy, and release some of the frustrations, and also appreciate the disparity between them and me. We're an educate together school, and I often remind them, it doesn't mean you're not subject to authority. It does not make you any smaller to honour me as an adult, and as a teacher, as a worker. It doesn't make you any smaller, I say to them. So this is for them, for Robinson. I'm not going to have a fight with somebody who thinks that all caps and text is somebody shouting. I'm not going to have a fight with somebody who doesn't know what a Yamaha DT from the 1990s looks like. I'm not going to argue with someone who uses chat to refer to people in their immediate proximity. I'm not going to argue with someone who thinks that Kanye West is old school. I'm not going to argue with someone who doesn't know what an everlasting gobstopper is. I'm not going to argue with someone who can't insult me in at least one other language. Dude, I'm not going to argue with you. My YouTube channel is older than you. I'm not going to argue with someone who has less comebacks than I have fillings. I'm not going to argue with someone who doesn't have a full set of molars. I'm not going to argue with someone who doesn't like the crust. You don't want to fight me, I predate SoundCloud rapper era. I'm not going to fight with someone who has never booked their own medical appointments. You don't want to fight me, I have memories older than you. I'm not going to argue with someone who, up to quite recently, had milk teeth. I have ailments that precede your birth. I have injuries older than you. I have tattoos older than you. I'm not arguing with someone who my marriage is older than. I'm married longer than you were alive. I'm not going to argue with someone who leaves before the credits roll. That's a bit snobby, that one now. I'm not going to argue with the type of person that scrolls on their phone in the cinema. That really annoyed me. I see someone's feed more than I can see Michael Jackson on the film. I'm not going to have an argument with someone that smokes at hospital facades. This is going away from the younger and more looking at what I'm going to recite next if I have time to finish up boards like this, fellas like that. Right, so this is more entering into the critical view of people in society and being a straight edge person, things that bother me. I'm not going to have an argument with someone whose tattoos were dragged and dropped. I'm not going to have an argument with someone that I caught the other day littering in their own community. Thank you. Will I finish with this one and we'll try it? Is that alright? Shall I finish with one? I'll try and get. I'll try and I get you to do the refrain, which is boards like that. Yeah? So when I raise my hand, maybe we get you to say boards like that. Yeah? Would that be cool? And then you can go fellas like that when I do the other one. Yeah? Sound good? Cool. Thanks very much for lending your ears. Yeah.
Boards like that. Boards like that.
Fellas like that.
Yeah! Boards like that!
Fellas like that. Boards like that.
Fellas like that! Boards like that! Fellas like that! Alright. Boards that say, right, what was I going to say instead of just saying it?
Boards like that.
Oh. Boards that vape and have sour faces on them so they look half reluctant, half mean to take a drag.
Boards like that.
Boards whose perfume smells like vape!
Boards like that.
Boards whose kisses are like that of a preteen frigid practice that wears you gave with your own hand.
Boards like that.
Boards whose lips are like Irish fruit never ripe. Boards who got all their tattoos in the space of 1 year.
Boards like that.
Boards whose tattoos look like 20 penny chewing gum tattoos. Composition like they just closed their eyes and pointed to their skin every time.
Boards like that.
Their inspiration was that random tattoo filler.
Boards like that.
Now,
Fellas like that.
some on a moped blessing himself, taking his hands off the throttle to bless yourself!
Fellas like that.
Men that swing their legs on a kid like that on a moped!
Fellas like that.
Fellas who pick their nose in their van or car and who think they're invisible! Fellas that spit around or even worse, at a woman.
Fellas like that.
Fellas that feign their own death to escape a woman's love.
I know a few of them.
Men who think they're memorable because they fill in the blank.
Fellas like that.
Big football men that you have to walk beneath their arm through the threshold of a door held open.
Rob Doyle.
Don't be name dropping. Big tall men that give you a crick in your neck.
Fellas like me.
Fellas that return spent matches to the box.
Fellas like that.
Fellas like that.
Fellas that whistle passive aggressively.
Fellas
like that.
Fellas that wear ballys who have never worn or nor will ever actually have a need for a bally.
Fellas like that. I don't know about that.
Fellas who out of spite won't pass on the side, won't pick on the side of the ball.
Fellas like
Fellas
that.
like that.
Fellas that wash after the steam room, not before. Fellas that jacuzzi.
Animals like that.
Fellas that talk about session mots in the sauna.
Fellas like
That's
that.
alright.
Thank you very much.